Hi everybody. I'm not in the classroom right now. Hi Dizzy Dog. I am at a kindergarten conference and forgot that I would be here. So I'm going to keep this really, really short because I'm not in my classroom. Hi there. And I have a friend here who is holding the camera for me, so I don't want to make her arm fall off. So anyway, so I hope you guys are all doing well, and we've been talking about Biffytoons. I did power cards for a few weeks, and now we've been taking a little break to talk about Biffytoons. Hello there, but I don't have my Biffytoon cards here with me to be able to show you the Biffytoons, so I'm gonna have to do this without them. So that's why it'll be really short. And then next week we're off for Thanksgiving, so I won't be scoping next week, but I'll be back the following week. Hello from Michigan. You'll also want to stay tuned because we've been having a lot of questions about classroom engagement and participation and getting all your kids participating. And so in a couple of weeks, Coach B and I, hi Laura from Cleveland, are actually going to be doing a couple scopes together talking about participation. Yes, I say the same thing. Praise the Lord for Thanksgiving break. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I'm looking forward to that week off. So, okay. So with Biffytoons, without having them here, again, those are the sight words. They have a picture and they have a gesture for every single one, or 42 of the sight words. And so, and Coach is working on even more Biffytoons as we speak. Yes, we do. Please give me more hearts. Thank you. That's nice. So anyway, so we were talking about different things that we do with Biffytoons, and I'm going to tell you something really quick that I can show you here without having the words with me. And so what we do is, I showed you last week how we do them in different levels. And so I have the first 6, which I call my purple level. I have the next 6, which I call the blue level. Then we have the green, the yellow, the orange, and the red level. And so as we add levels, I talked to you guys last week about how we use our brainies and we do oral language sentences. Hi there. For my friend out there who had a horrible week and Rule 5 was not working, hang in there, stay tuned. We're going to be coming back and we're going to be doing some really neat little tweaks and strategies on participation and how to get the buy-in from your students. So hang in there, keep working on that Rule 5. I would say continue using the scoreboard, but also use your Super Improvers team. So if you haven't started using the Super Improvers team, I would highly suggest that. So anyway, back to what I was saying about the Biffytoons. So we go through, and when we review them, we do oral language writing sentences. So we'll do oral sentences and we'll use our brainies. So examples that I said last week were, if we start with a capital and we would say, I like my mom. And then we do the end of the sentence, and then we go from there, and then we're going to add 2 details. So we would say, so if we were doing I see my eye, we would start with a capital, I see my friends and my teacher. So we talked a little bit about how we do that every day when we're practicing with our Biffytoon words. And we're using our brainies, which again, you can find the brainies on the Whole Brain Teaching website. And we're using oral writing. And I also have a kindergarten oral writing video, Whole Brain Teaching video, that is on YouTube. Now, to make it a bit of a game, this is what we do. We go through and we make each level of the words worth points. And so what we do is we do a game where we see how many points a sentence could add up to be. So an example would be my purple row, those are 1-point words, because by the time we get several levels in, we've had those words around for a while. So the words in the purple row are worth 1 point, the words in the blue row are worth 2 points, the words in the green row are worth 3 points, and so forth and so on. And so the students are trying to come up with triple whammy sentences, they're trying to come up with more than one detail, and they're trying to come up with the most amount of points that they can get in a sentence. And so an example would be they're going and they're throwing in a couple of the purple words, they're throwing in a couple of the green words. You're going to add up the points, and we're going to see who can come up with a sentence that is worth the most points. And so that's what our little goal is for the week. They love doing that. We tally them up and we see, oh my gosh, that word was worth this many points. That's also adding in, that's also putting in adding, and so that's another skill. that we do. Another thing that we do, and this will be the last thing I touch on today just because I'm sitting in a hotel room hall right now with a couple of friends who are dying to go eat, is we do this thing, it's where we talk about clunkers. And clunkers, there's two different types of clunkers. Only for kinders. It doesn't have to only be for kindergartners. You can do this high frequency words. We also have the Super Speed 100 and Super Speed 1000, which is also available on the Whole Brain Teaching website, and you can do the same thing with those. Those are actually already in lists, but you could put those in levels as well and make it a game where they try to add up sentences, doing oral writing sentences, which one makes the most points. So how many words can you get in a sentence, and how many points are each of those words worth? And again, if I missed your questions, I always go back and I look at the rebroadcast, so I will try to get back to your questions next week if I missed them. So back to clunkers. Okay, so there's two different types of clunkers. With clunkers, it's when we're doing our triple whammy sentences, or a sentence using the word and it has two details, or the triple whammy sentence has three details. A clunker is one type of clunker is anytime I say the same thing twice. So let me give you a triple whammy sentence example. So if I was to say, my favorite dessert is pie, zoop, chocolate cake, zoop, and pie, then they would hear my clunker. They would say clunker because I said pie twice. And so we try to get them to understand that they can't say the same detail two times in the same sentence. So I have the kids, I will say the sentence to them, and they'll listen for my clunker. So I'll practice it, and of course I do right way, wrong way, so I do a few of them the wrong way, and they'll say clunker, and they'll tell me, oh, I heard you say this thing two times. Okay, an advanced clunker is when my detail doesn't have anything to do with my, yes, clunkers. Clunkers break down the sentence. It's like a clunker, like an old car that breaks down. It makes that sentence break down. So another type of clunker, the first type of clunker is where they say the same thing twice. They say that same detail twice. A second one that we have is if my detail is not related to the topic. So here's an example. So I might say, in the summer, I like to swim, zoop, go to the beach, zoop, and my favorite ice cream is chocolate. That's a clunker because that detail doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the sentence. And so we practice clunkers. I will say them, and they have to listen for my clunkers, and then they listen to each other to make sure that they're not doing either one of the two types of clunkers. Remember, the first type of clunker is where I'm saying the same detail two times in my triple whammy. The second type of clunker is where it doesn't have to do with my my topic, so it's off topic. And so they're learning that academic language. They're learning, okay, that doesn't fit because it's not on topic. Now guys, if you watch the Whole Brain Teaching oral writing video, we don't just speak in our triple whammy sentences. We actually go to speaking full paragraphs, and so that's another place where we could find our clunkers. And so there's also a third type of clunker. Now even within the paragraph, you may have a clunker, for example, that does not go with what your topic sentence is. So if my topic sentence was, in the summer, I like to go to the beach, zoop, I like to swim in my pool, zoop, and I like to go outside and play with my friends, and then my next sentence should have to do something with the beach. Well, if my next sentence I start off and I start talking all about the new video game my mom bought me, then that's a clunker. So that one is off topic. It doesn't fit the sentence. Another type of clunker, if we're going in the progression of easier to more difficult, remember the first one is if they repeat the same thing twice in the sentence. The second one is if it's off topic. The third one is we don't want the next sentence to start with the same word. So when we're doing detail adders, another clunker is if we have the next sentence start with the same words that the previous sentence started with. So here's an example. If I said something like, clunker consciousness, yes, we have to be conscientious of the clunkers in our sentences and in our paragraphs. So if my sentence was something like this, 3 animals that live in the rainforest are a gorilla, zoop, a jaguar, zoop, and a boa constrictor, Then my next paragraph is going to be all about the gorilla. Well, my first sentence is going to be, a gorilla lives in the rainforest. Well, my next sentence cannot start with a gorilla again. So if I'm describing that gorilla, then I'm going to need to throw in a pronoun. It's going to need to be, it has long black fur and it is a mammal. So there's a little bit about oral writing using our Biffytoon words. I'm going to go really quick back through all three of those clunkers, starting with easiest to hardest. The first one, the easiest one, is when they're saying the same thing twice in the sentence. So we don't want to say the same thing two times in a triple whammy or a sentence that has and. The second type of clunker is when it's off topic. It doesn't have to do with what the topic is that we're talking about. And the third type is when we're starting to speak paragraphs. When we're starting to speak paragraphs, we don't want the next sentence to start with the same word as the previous sentence. So I hope this helps you guys, and again, I'll be off next week for Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all have a very blessed Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you the week after. Keep an eye out. I believe Coach B, verify this for me, I believe Coach B and I, oh yeah, we do. Whole Brain Teachers ruled. Power to the Whole Brain Teachers. Happy Thanksgiving. Coach B might pop in there. I believe that it's the second week in December that Coach B and I are going to be getting together. We're going to do a scope together, which that'll be a whole lot of fun, Coach B and I. And we're going to talk about how we're going to spend a couple weeks talking about how to get your kids who are not participating to buy in and participate. So yes, Coach. Coach says yes. Second week in December. You guys have a great week off, and thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.